Hey Skate World, Skate Hooligan here, and today we're going to talk about wheels, and specifically we're going to talk about the Mad Wheelz 105s. Now these are the ones that are distributed by madeskate.com, and before we dig into these, I had the opportunity to talk with Brian, get a little bit of the history of the wheels, a little bit of history of the company, a little bit of history of himself, and I thought what better than to have it come directly from Brian. So Brian, I'd like to welcome you to the channel.
Hey, Skate Hooligan. Thanks for having me on your channel. My name is Brian from Mad Skate. We're a small family-owned business in Honolulu, Hawaii. About 18 months ago, I purchased myself a set of the OG boosted 105 wheels and I fell in love. The combination of grip and comfort were something I'd never felt before in a urethane wheel. After that, I made it my mission to bring the boosted 105 wheel back to the e-skate community, but at a much lower price. So how about we hear from you about the technical specs and your riding impressions?
Hey, thanks, Brian. I appreciate you doing that for me. Now, let's dig into these wheels. These are the Mad E-Skate 105 wheels. I am running a set on my Zeus Pro, and I'm also running another set on the Hurricane. I wanted to do that because one obviously is a double kingpin, the other is a traditional kingpin, just to kind of see how these wheels handled on two different kingpin setups. So we'll get into that here in just a little bit, and I'll share a little bit of video with you. Now these are the 105s, and so when I did receive these, I did some measurements on them, and when I measured across the core of these, I did notice that they were coming in around a 101 to 102 millimeter. They weighed in at about a 13.9 or 14 ounces. And so it's a pretty good wheel. You're not going to lose anything as far as heft on that inertia to get going with the board or anything like that. Now y'all know that I am a cloud wheel fan. I do like the 120s. So going to a 105 was a little bit different, but I wanted to try something new. And so far I am impressed with these wheels. I have to be honest with you. I like the cloud wheels, but I'm kind of liking these. These might actually move the cloud wheels down to the second. Now let's talk a little bit about the actual wheel. First of all, as I said, these are the 105s. They do have a width of 65 millimeters. Now that is inner board side to road side or outside. That is a 65 millimeter. These do have the plastic Kegel core. So this core is made of a hard plastic. If you don't have those Kegel hubs, you're probably going to have to pick a set up, but I don't know too many of us that don't have the Kegels and the ABEX. This does run the standard 8 millimeter skate bearing, so you shouldn't have any problems with that. The core is an offset core. It is not a center core. It is not a backside. It is actually an offset, and I really like the offsets. They seem to give a tremendous amount of traction. Also, when we're looking at the board side of this wheel, you're going to notice that there's a series of drill outs, and that's obviously put in there for a design. First of all, it removes some of the weight. Second of all, what it does is it allows the wheel to flex a little bit as it is rolling through. So it does absorb some of the imperfections in the surface that you're riding on, so that it doesn't travel through the wheel, through the truck's board all the way to your feet. So I really do like the fact that those drill outs are there. These do ride really smoothly, I have to admit with that. Now, the other thing that we want to talk a little bit about is, as we said, this is a 65 millimeter width. This is a radius type of wheel. We don't have a straight, we don't have a beveled, we actually have a radius. I really like the radius wheels because as you roll up on those imperfections, on a straight edge, it's going to grab you and pull you to one side, whereas with the radius, it actually just rolls up smoothly and there is no jerking left and right to possibly throw you into those speed wobbles. Now the contact patch of this, as I measure it, this is a brand new set. This set has not been on any board. And I can see that there is an edge here before it goes into the bevel on the outer edge. And on the board side, we have the same thing. So we've got a patch here before it rolls into the beveled edge. When I measure this, it measures out to around 40 to 41 millimeters. Now, obviously, as you wear this wheel down, that contact patch is going to expand, but at a certain point in time, if you ride it enough, you're going to hit into those drill outs. So your contact patch on this is probably going to be right around that 40 to 42 millimeter, but this is a very grippy wheel. I noticed when I'm riding the boards, I noticed that the carves are much more sure, they're much more grippy. The same way with going into a corner, I'm able to take those corners a little bit better. So I have to admit, this wheel is unbelievably grippy. I really like it. I noticed immediately when I switched out the cloud wheels to these that my confidence grew tremendously with these wheels. I just felt better as far as the grip, and I really enjoyed riding these wheels. They are extremely smooth. That is one thing that I noticed about them, is that there's not a lot of rumble to them. They are tremendously smooth. Now, obviously that is going to depend upon the surface that you're riding on, but in the most cases, we're going to be on concrete pavement. That's going to probably be pretty smooth unless you're completely broken up. So far, I am impressed with these wheels. I would encourage anyone to check these out. I would encourage anyone to pick up a set, throw them on your wheels or on your board. I do think the 105s is a great compromise between the 120s and maybe a set of 90s. Really nice size to be able to eat up those imperfections in the ground or in the surface that you're riding on. Plus also, I think, you know, going 120s, you're getting up there into that larger wheel, getting a little bit more inertia required to get the board started. This did not eat up my battery nearly as bad as what some of the larger off-road wheels do, and obviously gave me a little bit more battery life than even the 120s, believe it or not. So again, these are the 105 Mad Wheels. They are put out by madeskate.com, 72 durometer, great wheel. I would encourage you to check it out. Now, let's check out some ride video. So as you can see from that ride video and from those cones, these are some grippy wheels. I really like these. I think you're gonna like them. I would definitely check them out. If I were you, they should be on your list of parts for your boards. E-Skate Hooligan here. Ride hard, carve safe, wear that protection. Have a great day. E-Skate Hooligan here. Grip your ride with Mad Wheelz 105s. Get them at madeskate.com.